and welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. It's a miserable day here and it's going to be a very miserable video because we're talking about servicing and bills, but I've had a great week with the car. Been on some lovely drives. I've been driving the BMW a little bit this week and just to and from the gym, and then getting back into this, it just makes me love it even more. You're just so high up on the road. I think that's my favourite part at the moment about this car, is how high up you are and how good it feels to be like king of the road. I'm higher than anyone else on the road. The only thing higher than me is a lorry, and I don't want to be in a lorry, so it's perfect. This week I had the car booked in at Gumtree, which is a Land Rover specialist in Ditchling, which is about half an hour from where I live in Worthing. Here she is, just picking her up. Gonna go inside now, settle the bill. Initially we just had it booked in to kind of have a little look over the car, then they were going to send us an email, say this needs doing, this doesn't need doing, what do you want to do? And that's kind of what happened. So basically they got the car up in the air, had a little inspection, and if you don't know, I don't know if I've mentioned this on my channel yet already, I bought the car at 168,000 miles and the service history is non-existent from 120. So there's some making up to do, and obviously I've got no idea what was done between 120 and 160. Someone made a good point the other day on the channel saying you can tell how well a car's been looked after by the tyres, and the tyres on this cost £50. So probably not been too well looked after, to be honest, but that's why we got it booked in. That's why we're going to be taking good care of it from now on and giving it the treatment it truly deserves. So as I was saying, we had it booked in. They had a little looky around the car and there was quite a nice email that came through. It said overall the condition is pretty good. However, there are several things that I wasn't aware would need doing and several things have come up. So I'm going to get the emails up in a second. We're going to pull over and have a little look through in a minute, and we'll tell you what we actually went for and what we want to get done in the future, and also how much the first bill cost, because I've really spent more on it than I thought I would in the first few weeks of owning it, but it's all for a good reason, and you guys are loving the video so far as well, which makes it even better. Just a quick one before I get on with the rest of the video. I have a question for you all. Can you comment below what type of viewer you are, as in, do you own an L322? Do you own a Land Rover or a Range Rover? Do you own a 4x4? Are you thinking of buying one? And are you just a fan of them but you're never going to buy one? Where are you at? Because I'm so interested in who's watching these videos. I get some statistics sort of behind the scenes of like gender and age and country and things, but I don't know the reason why people are clicking on these videos. So if you could let me know in the comments, I'm just very interested. Not for any real reason, I just love to know. I'm a nosy person and you'll learn that about me soon. And of course a huge thank you as well for the support on my first 3 videos. This is number 4 and I think I'm on almost 2,500 subscribers already, which is amazing. So if you're new around here and you can hit that subscribe button, it's totally free. Hit the button, click the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I upload, because it's not a current sort of upload schedule at the moment. There may be in the future, but right now we've got a newborn baby, and well, you can't say newborn anymore, he's nearly 5 months old. We've got a baby and sometimes we have plans to film and they don't happen for various reasons, so there's not a huge schedule, but yeah, if you have the notification bell on, you'll know when I upload a video. Now, am I getting under that? Oh, what is that noise? Can you hear that? It's the airbags. I just put the car into access mode to try and get underneath this and it's humming. Oh, it's stopped now. Oh no, it's back. Oh no, someone's coming. Am I getting underneath this? Am I getting underneath this? Oh, they're just hanging around. So yeah, I was just gonna say, I think I'll get under this, but someone's hit it, so now I can't actually see. So I'm gonna use a sunroof, which is one of the perks. This is what you have a sunroof for, to check you're gonna fit underneath something. And actually, I can just do this and just check, I can feel for it. I think I'm good, aren't I? Yes, plenty of room. Thankfully we've got the access mode. We through? Yeah, marvellous. Great news for everyone. Perfect. Remind me not to put a roof box on this car. Okay, what is that vibrating? I'm gonna take it out of access mode and see if it helps.
There's often a few creaks.
Quite a lot of creaking going on. Okay, that's good. Better get it back in then, hadn't I? Right, anyway, I'm gonna drive down here, pull up, and we'll get this bill out. Look at this, very nice views. Yeah, I was waiting for the sun to come out today to film this video. It didn't happen, and I thought I'd get out before it gets dark, so it might not be as picturesque as my previous videos. However, it's not gonna stop me from creating content. Okay, I've just got the invoice out here, and it's got some advisories on of like, well, not advisories, it's not an MOT, but some, oh, the sun's out. There you go. Some things that they suggested doing in the future. They were quite good, to be fair. They sort of said, this is what we recommend doing right now, this is what you could do if you wanted, and this is what you can do in the future but forget about for now. I was just thinking, let's just go whole hog and do it all today, but then it sort of started to add up, so I thought we'd sort of pace it out a little bit. And we haven't actually booked in for the oil service yet, because we're thinking of going to a local garage to get that done instead, because Gumtree's more specialist and we were just going to get a quote from a local one. So we had how many things done? 3 or 4 things done. So the first thing, which a load of you said is the #1 priority and the thing we should get done first, is the battery replacement. So we've got a new battery in, got an original Land Rover Jaguar battery, because we thought it's not something you want to sort of get a cheap version of. The battery is quite fundamental for a lot of things in the car, and a lot of the problems that were coming up, like the suspension fault, the wing mirror not going in properly, even this is more responsive now. Like, there's so many things that the battery has seemed to have improved. That was 100% must do, and that came to £203 plus VAT. And then something quite weird happened next. So they said that the cause of the sort of rattle suspensiony noise sort of behind me here on the rear wheel, they said that it was the bushes, and they said if we replace that it's going to be fixed. So we said go for it, that sounds really good. And then when we got home, on the way home, we heard the noise was still there, and we were like, hang on, that's weird. So we looked at the advice on this invoice, and it says rattle noise from rear is brake pads in carrier, which wasn't done. We emailed them and sort of questioned it, and they said, oh yeah, it was that, it wasn't the bushes, but they needed doing anyway. So it was a bit of a weird like miscommunication with them, to be honest. So the actual brake pads apparently are in a good condition, but it's the carrier that's corroded, which is causing this rattle. So they said it's fine to leave it, it's just a rattle. So it's kind of annoying, because we booked it in to get the rattle looked at, and we've come away with the rattle, and they fixed something else that they said was a rattle, but it wasn't a rattle. Weird. But these did need doing anyway, and we would have got it done anyway, because apparently the bushes were totally worn out and it would have failed its next MOT. So had we known that, we would have got that done and the rattle fixed, but we ended up, I mean, it saved us a bit of money, but we still have got the rattle, so weird story. But anyway, so we had the bushes done. So the bush upper knuckle, £35 plus VAT, the bolt was £8, the nut was £1.82, bargain, the washer was £3.93, and then the labour, it was 1.25 hours of labour, which is charged at £79.50 plus VAT per hour, so like £100 labour on that. And then once they'd started looking at the suspension, they saw the lower ball joint was totally worn as well, so lower ball joint assembly was £35, clip was £2, and then labour again 1.25 hours, so another £100 there. So that was a little job that we weren't expecting to need doing. It wasn't on the sort of video where I looked around the car and said this is what's wrong with it, but it's something that would have failed the MOT, so it's a must in my opinion. The next thing, which is great news, we got the aircon regassed for £70 plus VAT, and it now works. So we've got working aircon just in time for summer, because it was getting a little bit sweaty in this car, and it did make us want to drive the BMW more because of that on the hot day. So now both are good, and yeah, so that's a real must for us. And then the final thing we got this time was, again, when the car was up on the ramp, the anti-roll bar link was totally worn, so they've put a new one on. That was only 0.25 hours of labour, so £20 labour, £21 and £2 for the parts, and that was it. So the total bill today came to £731 and 15 pence. That's including VAT. When we had it booked in my head I thought battery and aircon were my like 2 things, so that would have only been a few £100. So it's a little bit more than we expected. We still need to get it serviced, which is a lot, and there's still a lot of sort of odd jobs we want to do on the car. And then in terms of these advisories, so there's an oil leak from the right hand manifold area. We did know about that when we got the car, and it's very minor, and it's not something that's going to fail an MOT. Obviously if it gets worse we're going to get that sorted as well, but right now it's just a little oil leak. I don't know if that's a little thing. I think it's a little thing compared to some of the other stuff that we want to get done. And then another advisory was both front lower arm bushes worn. So again, not 100% need doing now, but needs doing in the future. And then of course the service. So there's plenty more things that we need to get booked in for, plenty more things we need to do on the car. That's it for today. I think I'm starting to realise, I mean, I knew it would be expensive, this car to run. I'm loving having it, and it's, as much as it's a pain for how much it costs, it's it's worth it, and like you get the jobs done, and it's almost like a fun little project. Not that I want things to go wrong for fun, that's not what I'm saying here, but when you drive the car you just think it's okay. It's like when Matt from High Peak Autos, he says drive the car you want to drive and then just pay for it when you need to pay for it, because that's part of the cost of having that car. And it's so true, especially with the depreciation on these. What it was worth originally, like, I don't know, £75,000 or something. Of course it's going to cost a lot of money to fix, because you're not trying to fix a car that's 7 grand new, you're fixing a car that's 70, 80 grand new. Although yes, we just spent 10% of what we paid for it on a couple of jobs. Interesting. It's just part of it, it's part of the fun, I think, and this unconditional love we now have for this car. Ignore this bird poo. I said earlier I was going to get the car washed before the video, but we ran out of time and it's getting a bit late. There's mud sprayed up all the wheels, and I thought, yeah, the mud looks quite cool. Like, a Range Rover should be muddy, it should have dirt sprayed all up over it, because I don't know, I think this is part of the look. The bird poo less so, less attractive, less appealing. So sorry about that. Another question for you to let me know in the comments: do you wash your own cars, or do you get them washed at a car wash? What do you think's better? I think there's something quite satisfying about washing your own car, but it does take quite a long time. So let me know in the comments, are you team wash it yourself or get it washed? I was also thinking the other day we could replace these because they're a little bit horrible, and we definitely want to get the alloy wheels fixed up. They're lovely wheels, I love these wheels. I think it's one of the nicest parts of the car. I think they're so nice, and probably the nicest wheels I've seen on this model, so I think having them back into great condition would be lovely as well, although it is quite fun just driving up on the curb at the moment and not caring about them because they already look like crap. I also had a comment the other day saying that we should just ditch these totally, because we already know this one is aftermarket rubbish and this one's the original, hence the odd socks situation. And I mean, it would mean that we were going to take it green laning at some point, maybe in Wales or something. It's part of the plan. So if we did have them removed completely, it would mean we had more ground clearance. I don't know, some people love the look, some people hate it. Again, let me know in the comments. Do you think we should get rid of them completely or keep them on? I don't know. I don't use them to get into the car. They're not practical to me. I just jump into the car, I don't know, just normally. And if someone's shorter that needs to get in the car and we need to put it into access mode, we can do that. I don't know. Maybe it is just easier to get rid of them completely, but would it look weird? Would it look kind of naked? Okay, I'm gonna end this video off here. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit of a random one. The main purpose was to talk about the first bit of work we've had done on the car, but I mean, I've sort of started rambling on about other things, as I seem to do when talking about this car. But if you enjoyed it today, give it a big thumbs up. As always, let me know in the comments what videos you want to see from me in the future. I think my next video might be replacing the start stop button, because it's arrived off of eBay. Oh, there's a helicopter. This always happens when I'm filming. There's always a helicopter. I'm just going to carry on because it's going to take ages, it's miles away. Yeah, it's arrived, and I've also got some of them little plastic tools to coax it out of the dashboard. If anyone's done it already and has got any advice, oh, this is way too noisy, hang on. So if anyone's got any advice on the how-tos or anything, if you've done it yourself already and you think, oh, I wish I'd known that before I did it, and any advice you can give me down in the comments, then please do let me know. And if you want that video again, let me know, because if you don't want it, I won't film it. But I did say it in another video recently, and it seems that you guys do want to see sort of even the little odd jobs around the car, not just these sort of main videos of little fixes and DIYs and things like that. So like I said, if you're new around here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like the video if you enjoyed it today, and I'll see you very soon in another video with my L322. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Ow, just stung my leg on this stinging nettle to get that B-roll. I hope it was worth it.